All right, so we're ready to go with our social issues. You've looked at TFKs. Today you're looking at your narrative, and we're going to start by reading the story. But what's a social issue essay? What are they? How about a question like that? Nice and simple.
They're basically current events that are happening around the world.
Okay, so you're saying
That
it's,
affects us.
put some things. I think it's current events.
And that affects you.
Okay. Happenings around the world. Okay, and then you just added in a couple of other words there at the end. What's that? You repeat it.
That affect you.
Okay. And this is important because you guys are about 10 years old, and your issues may not be relevant to me. I'm slightly older. Okay. So what else? What else is a social issue? Whatever comes to mind, guys. Nothing fancy. Just sharing this out. Yes.
Something that may affect you alone, or it may affect some other type of place.
Affect others and may affect other places. That's good. Pablo?
Frequent problems.
Okay. Frequent. Whoops. Problems. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah.
Problems that have an impact on you.
Problems that impact us. What's another word for impact, just in case, because when I think of impact, I think of an impacting wisdom to it. Okay? But what does impact mean? There's another word that's a little simpler, and I just want to put that out there. Yes.
Effect.
Yeah. Okay, and that's right here. Impact and effect are synonyms. So far, I see a lot of negativity. But I want to make do social issues that affect you, right, have to be negative.
It could be positive or negative.
Does anybody have a positive social issue?
I guess you discovered.
We did a social issue on new discoveries. I just saw one on prosthetic arms, like artificial limbs for war veterans who are, have been disabled, and they've been able to connect it to certain parts of the nerves so that the fingers actually move, and when they touch something, with closing their eyes, they could actually tell which of the artificial fingers. Now, that's a negative topic because the person got injured, but it's a positive event. So, what's the opposite of polluted waters? Okay. What's the opposite of foster care? Spin that one. Opposite of foster care. Yeah, how to be a great parent. So for every negative issue, there's a positive. Because for every problem, there is a solution. And that's kind of how your essay is going to kind of be working. Okay? Let's keep going. This is good. Anybody else? Yes.
Positive results or outcomes.
Okay. Positive results or outcomes. I'm adding it to the second section because, believe it or not, we're almost answering the question, where do they come from? Where do issues come from? I mean, who creates issues? Do they grow on trees? Do they erupt from the innards of a volcano? Where do social issues come from? People. That's really, people, before the planet was here, everything was just peachy. Okay? And then we came here, and we're consumers, and we're either taking care of it or we're not taking care of it. So we create all the positive, and unfortunately, we also create the negative. Okay? Where do they come from? That's, let me put a different color here. Everyday life. I mean, there is a social issue from the moment you step out the door and you walk home. You will encounter an issue. You will encounter a social issue if you're at home in the kitchen walking into your bedroom and one of your siblings puts their feet out and trips you. And you go flat on your face and your sibling goes, booyah, okay? And that's a social issue called, I don't like my sibling, okay? Or sibling rivalry. Some days I hate my sister, some days I love her, okay? Everyday life, guys, everyday life. And so the last question before we head on to this Costa Rican adventure story is, I'd like to think that whatever we do in class is important. Somewhat. But why is this important?
It happens a lot.
It happens to people. And what do we hope at the end of a social issue, we've given the reader? You know? What do we want to give the reader at the end of this beautiful piece of writing? Now, I'm going to introduce a word today. A solution means what? What is a solution?
Something like an answer.
Good. An answer. An answer to a problem. Okay, raise your hand if you think there's an answer and a solution for every problem. Raise your hand, please. I've noticed some hesitance. Okay, well, if you did not put your hand up, you're correct. Not all problems bear solutions. What they are called are resolutions. For example, I hate my brother. My brother hates me. Period. End of subject. Parents deal with this all the time. At the end of the day, they go to bed, they still hate each other, which is unfortunate. But the thing is that parents, okay, can't force you to love each other, but they have to come up with ways for you to settle what?
Settle your differences.
Settle differences. A resolution may mean, okay, I hate you, you hate me, so we're not going to interact for the next couple of weeks until things cool down. Okay? The answer to water and air pollution is out there somewhere. It hasn't been answered yet, but it's gotten better. Not every problem has a solution, and that's just an unfortunate fact of life. All right? So let's switch over to the story. We're going to stop this right now.